Hi, this is Blake Butler, lead exercise specialist at the Lift Wellness Center. Today we're going to be talking about overhead pressing with a barbell, a kettlebell, and a dumbbell, as well as show you a quick and easy clearing test to make sure you can do overhead pressing safe and effectively based upon your own mobility. So we're going to start off with the barbell first. On the barbell, we want to think about a couple different things, about where we set up the barbell, where our weight is, and how our core is tightened. So we're going to have the barbell set up roughly at chest height. And it's always better to have that below chest rather than above chest if you don't have enough variability on setting your height. Because it's much easier to squat the bar up in your starting position than it is to lift it up and off the rack from your toes. We've also got some safety spotter arms set up just in case we need them. So we're going to talk about a couple key points. First off is our hand placement. Second off is where our weight is. And the last thing is moving our head and keeping our core tight. On our hand placement, you'll notice on your barbell that you've got some rough edges. That's called the knurling, and then the smooth part in the middle. For our hand placement, we're going to be 1 thumb length away from the edge of the knurling and the smooth portion in the middle. Second thing we're going to do is talk about our feet placement. Our feet want to be directly underneath our hips with the majority of our weight back on our heels with our knees and hips relaxed. We're going to pull in our belly button so our core is tight. We're going to move our chin back so that the barbell can move in a straight path. In the very end, we're going to push our head forward, making sure that the bar is directly overhead. So we're going to go ahead and do that clearing test first to make sure that we can do this part of the video. All right, so now that we're down on the ground with the person wanting to do an overhead movement, we're going to go ahead and do our clearing test. To start this, we're going to lay flat on the ground with our toes pointed straight up and our hands directly over the chest so that our hands are straight above our shoulders. From here, I'm going to place my hand in the small of her back, telling her to pull her belly button down into the ground and to squeeze her hip muscles. From here, she's going to lower her arms slowly down to the ground, trying to maintain pressure into my hand. If she's able to reach her hands all the way to the ground without losing pressure on my hand, then you're cleared to do any overhead movement safe and effective. And that's the end of our clearing test. Now that we're behind the bar, we're going to go ahead and set up our hands, get underneath the bar, and walk out from the rack. So for our hand placement, like we said, we're going to be 1 thumb length away from the edge of the knurling. We're going to bring our elbows down and under as we walk into the bar, lifting it off the rack. From here, I'm going to set my feet right underneath my hips with the majority of my weight back on my heels. My hips and knees are relaxed so that I'm able to transfer power from the floor. I'm going to pull my belly button in, keep a tall chest so you can see the logo on my shirt. And you'll notice my elbows are right in front of the bar rather than back behind the bar. This is going to be a much safer and more effective position for me to press from. As I get ready to press, I'm going to let my head drift back, pushing up and off of my shoulders, extending at the elbows and letting my head move forward so the bar is directly over my body. So let's go ahead and do our press now. I'm going to keep my feet flat on the ground so my weight is in my heels, belly button pulled in so my core is tight, tall chest, head back, pressing overhead so that you can see my ears right in front of my arms. Now when I go to bring the barbell down, I'm going to drift my head back and bring my elbows down so that the bar rests on my shoulders. From here, I'm going to walk the barbell back into the rack, letting it down securely onto the rack. So that is our overhead press with a barbell. Next, we're going to show you the 2 free weight variations using dumbbells and kettlebells. All right, now that we've got our free weights at our side, both kettlebells and dumbbell, we're going to show you how to do the overhead press with these items. So first off, we're going to start with a double-handed kettlebell press. So we're going to take both of our kettlebells, grasping both of the handles, allowing the kettlebells to drift to the outsides of the wrist. The hand's going to be set deep inside of the handle, bringing our thumbs to chest. Same thing is going to apply with all parts of this movement as we did with the barbell, except for we have 2 free weights. So my weight is back on my heels, my belly button's pulled in tight, so I have a strong core, a tall chest. From here, I'm going to drive my elbows straight and up, bringing the kettlebells right above my head. Weight on my heels, belly button in, tall chest, pressing directly overhead. To bring it right back down, I'm going to bring my elbows down to my chest, resting my thumbs on my shoulders. That's how we're going to do a 2-handed kettlebell overhead press. We can do the same thing with only 1. That's what we're going to show you next. All All right, so now that we have our single kettlebell, we're actually able to place our hand on our stomach so you can feel the tightness of your core to make sure we're not leaning back and losing that stability in our ab muscles. So weight in my heels, hand on stomach, belly button pulled in, tall chest, driving the elbow straighten up, pressing the kettlebell overhead, bringing it back down, thumb to chest. Next, we're gonna show you the exact same thing with a dumbbell. So now that we have the dumbbell at chest height, it's best to have the palm facing inward to have a stronger starting position of the shoulder as opposed to dumbbell out, where we're putting a little bit more stress on the shoulder joint. Starting with the dumbbell facing in, hand on my stomach, weight back on my heels. I'm gonna pull my belly button in, keep a tall chest. I'm gonna drive that elbow straight overhead with the dumbbell and then bring it right back down, thumb to chest. So that concludes it for our video today of the overhead press with a barbell, kettlebell, and dumbbell. Thanks for watching.